Hey guys, Eugene here from Review Outdoor Gear, and man am I excited today to put out 4 knives from Review Outdoor Gear. Finally, this has been a very long project. We've gotten them all lined up for you. You can see the names right here. These are the 4 knives that are coming out. They're all handmade by a gentleman that I've partnered up with from Ukraine, Alexander Kasinets, and he is the one that is making these, and they're custom just for you guys. So they're all oriented or designed for hunting, bushcraft, survival, those kinds of things. And in this video, it's going to be kind of a longer video, but bear with me because I'm going to do some testing, show you all of the specs of the knives, and explain everything about them, hopefully to give you a very good idea. So as you can see, they're all made out of very high quality materials, S90B steel on all of them. We might add other ones in the future. Ironwood for the handle on all of them. Just beautifully finished off. Each one takes about 5 to 8 days to make. We'll do some testing like with splitting and batoning, and then towards the end of the video there will be all of the details about each knife if you're particularly interested in one of them. Please look down in the description where I will have links to our website as well as Amazon to purchase them. Anyway, like I was saying, these are some amazing knives. You know, each handcrafted, just beautiful. You'll see the materials and everything about them here coming up. Of course, these are going to have lifetime warranty. Any manufacturer defects or anything that falls apart for the lifetime of the master, everything will be replaced and fixed for you. Also, every one of them comes with a custom-made sheath like this that will fit each knife specifically. Also handmade all the way, just like this one here. So I'm very excited, guys. Let's get into it. Here's the first knife. This one right here, I specifically asked him to make, and this is going to be the ROG Hunter. So it's going to be more of a hunting-oriented knife. So yeah, the ROG Hunter here. The next one here is going to be the ROG Bowie knife. You can see here, everything's beautifully finished off, but that's that one. The next one here is the PUUKKO, and this sheath won't be the one that's provided with it. It'll have a nicer sheath that will come with it. This is kind of a different sheath, but it'll be in the style of those. And this is a non-mirror finish matte knife, but this is the ROG Buco. It's a very nice, comfortable all-around knife. So yeah, that's what we have here, guys. You know, and then also I'm thinking we'll be adding knives to the collection as time goes on, and depending on the interest in the knives, just keep an eye on this video, check in the links below, and there'll be more information coming up. Okay, guys. Well, let me show you a little bit of a carving test with the Buco knife. First of all, let me say that the handle is just very, very comfortable. Regardless of how you grab this handle, like this, the reverse grip, or, you know, I don't know what's called, the backwards grip, whatever it's called, or if you're holding it like this or like this, it's that very symmetrical handle in every direction. A little bit more thick in the back, but otherwise it's very symmetrical, and so it's very, very comfortable regardless of how you hold it, which makes it very, very nice for, you know, an all-around kind of knife for using it in any direction, as well as just a simple, you know, slicing hold or any of that. And in terms of how it cuts wood, I mean, come on, guys, this thing's sharpened to where it can slice a piece of paper, and it's going to cut wood. I mean, there's no question. And the S90B steel is definitely going to hold that. It's going to hold that edge really well. So let me show you a little bit more carving here. I'm going to try to make a feather stick on an edge of one of these sticks here. Let's see, let's use this one here. It definitely is able to shave very controlled, small slices of that wood. It'll work for pretty much anything, as well as bushcrafting. It's really an all-around knife. It's not the thickest for batoning, but I still will go ahead and baton a piece of a log here for you, just a small round. See how well this goes. I mean, no problem there at all. And I'm not putting this thing through a torture test because this is one knife that I actually will be selling. So I'll be sure to clean it up very nicely. It should be just like new. And it will be. So very easy to split. And this steel will hold its edge for a very long time. And I purposefully asked him to make this matte finish on it so that it wouldn't show any scratches, if, you know, from a heavy use. So it's not a mirror finish on this one, but you'll still be able to keep it very nice and pretty. So I asked him to make a very sharp 90-degree edge on the back of this knife so that you could even shave a nail, as you can see right here. So it's very sharp. And I have one of our ROG ferro rods here, and it's designed to be able to throw sparks with that, no problem. Really sharp back spine. You can shave off massive amounts of sparks with this, just like that. So that's the PUUKKO. So this is the Hunter, and should be able to do very much of the similar. Of course, this is more for hunting and skinning animals and cutting animal meat and all of that. It's more of a slicer, and it has a very nice, beautiful mirror edge on it to where you can basically look at yourself in that. I mean, it's you can do your hair in the morning with this knife, but you can see how easily this carves. This is more of just for slicing and cutting than it is for batoning. So that's the difference with the ROG Hunter. And the Bowie as well, I would not baton with that one. So the ones I baton with are the PUUKKO and the ROG Bushcrafter. Those would be the two. But otherwise, very, very fine knife. And the edge and the steel should hold very well. Guys, we're in the shop now. I want to show you all the knives, all the details, up close and personal. You guys saw some of the testing I already did with like the PUUKKO, for example, with splitting and batoning and cutting and all of that. They're all amazing in terms of their performance and the guarantee that that we have on them. So let me go into the specs first, and then I'll tell you a couple things about the ordering, and then we'll conclude. All of these knives are made with S90V steel. HRC is about anywhere from 60 to 62. Each steel is tested for the hardness, and this one specifically is 61 to 62 HRC. The whole knife here, in terms of the whole length, from tip to back, is 9 1/4 inches. Okay, and some more detailed specifications on it. It's a full tang knife. It's screwed into the back. We have steel finish here, and we have ironwood for the handle. You can see how beautifully that reflects the light as I rotate it there. And in terms of the blade length itself here, it's 115 millimeters. It's just a tad under 4.5 inches. The depth of the blade this direction, in this dimension, is 27 millimeters. And then the thickness of the blade is 4 millimeters. And the final bevel is put on at, basically it tapers up to 0.3 millimeters before it goes to the final taper. So then you can see the shape of the whole knife here for you, just like that. Yep, so that's the PUUKKO, ROG Buco. You guys will see links to all of these down in the description and everything about them in terms of where to get them and all of that. So that's this one. And you can see it has the satin finish, not shining. It has the sharp, 90-degree sharp spine. And the choil here doesn't go all the way to the end. We have a little bit of a space here for where the blade goes. Okay, so there's that. So ROG Buco, and then it comes with the sheath. Very easily sits down in that. And there we go. Okay, going to the next one. This is the ROG Bushcrafter. So very similar in terms of the blade finish. It's a satin blade, or basically a brushed steel blade. Again, we have the sharp 90-degree edge. We have an ironwood handle, and it's not a full tang. It's seated in about this far, glued in. And I will talk about the warranty on these knives at the end of the kind of overview. So I'll tell you about why we shouldn't worry about the way these are made. Then we have a Scandi grind here, as we do on the PUUKKO. Same thing. Scandi grind, satin finish, so that it can't get scratched as easily. Then you won't be able to see the scratches anyway. And a straight 90-degree spine, straight all the way across the top. Okay. Again, very, very comfortable handle. Man, these are amazing handles. Very thick handle too, and so it sits quite fully, I should say, in your hand. Like there's not a small handle there. So very comfortable in all directions. Dimensions on this one, I'm going to give you the length here in inches. So the complete length is 9.5 inches. Blade length is 4 5/8, which is basically 115 millimeters. Very similar to the PUUKKO. And the blade thickness is 4 millimeters.
And the secondary bevel is put on when the edge is down to 0.3 millimeters. There, okay? Those are the dimensions. And this is also 27 millimeters from here to here, which in inches, I'll tell you that in inches as well, just if you're interested. It is 1.15 or 1.16 inches in this dimension here at the widest part. Okay, and yeah, I think that's basically all on that. And then we have a brown leather custom formed sheath that will come with this. Everything is handmade, and the sheath's also handmade in Ukraine by a different gentleman who makes all the sheaths for these knives. This one is the ROG Bowie, a little bit different. Again, this knife is not full tang. It is partially inserted. We have a different finish here. It's a mirror finish. You can see how shiny. You can probably see Vlad in that. It's quite shiny. Very, very beautiful mirror finish. We have ironwood for the handle. We have a steel end cap here. Very nicely mirror finished off as well. Now the fit and finish is just beautiful on this knife. You can see that this looks like a piece of wood was wrapped around the metal. You know, just the way that it's finished. This guy does an amazing job. So there's that. We have a brass little insert here, and curved spine, meaning like it's curved like this, so the finger sits really comfortably there. And you cannot feel the transition between the handle and the blade. It's a very smooth transition there. Again, it's the S90V steel on all of them, 60 HRC here. And for the dimensions, it's a little bit different on this knife. So from tip to the end, it's 9 3/4 inch. The blade on this one is 4 3/4 inch. And I'll tell you the dimensions on the knife. You can see again that the choil here is not to the handle. We have a beautiful little dip right there. And the depth, being very careful not to dull this at all, is 1.2 inches from here to here. And then it varies. So 1.2 from here to here, and then you can see this goes up a little bit, this comes in, so it's quite variable in terms of the blade. And then the thickness here, 0.175 inches for the blade thickness. It's a little bit thicker, and you can see that just by looking at it as well, that it's, obviously thicker in the steel. Okay, handle's a little bit longer, you can see that, and the blade. So all around it's just a little bit longer, but we don't have the 90-degree spine, and we have this back unsharpened back edge, so it's kind of like a harpoon style grind. And it's a slightly convex grind here, and we have a secondary bevel coming down from 0.3 millimeters again on the edge. So quite a beautiful knife. This is one of my favorites. And we have a black sheath here as well, custom formed for this knife. So that's the ROG Bowie. And last but definitely not the least is the ROG Hunter. And this one is probably one of the most special knives here, just in terms of everything about it. And we worked on this one a little bit because it was slightly different before, and then we made some adjustments, and I had to actually send it back to have it adjusted. But just look at this wood and look at this handle. It is beautiful. It is very beautiful. We have ironwood, like always. And then here we have a tooth of a mammoth from Russia. So mammoth tooth. We have steel inserted all along at all the transitions. Little grooves cut in at each point. We have a little bit of brass inserted there. Then we have the S90V steel, of course, 6162 HRC. And the length of the blade is 113 millimeters. This right here, in terms of the depth of the blade, is 34 millimeters. And the thickness is 4.8 millimeters. And 4.8 millimeters, that being just like the ROG Bowie, which is 0.18 or 0.175 inches. So these have the identical blade width. But we still have a nice flat spine, no 90 degree, also curved here for the thumb, curved this way. Very smooth transition between the metals. And we have a flat mirror finish grind on both edges. Not a harpoon like the Bowie, more of a flat here on the back. Again, this is the Bowie versus this one. A lot of similarities between them. This is also full tang all the way through. And we have on the back a lanyard attachment. It will come provided with a little lanyard that can be put on there. And I actually might just have it on there for you later, as well as a card that has all information about it. And just look at that, man, just look at that wood, that ironwood, and that mammoth tooth. It is amazing. And of course we have the custom sheath for the knife. So each one has a dangler that will accept a 2-inch belt and hand stitched all the way through with a nice welt built into all of them. Shine finish is beautiful. These knives take an amazing amount of time and effort to manufacture. This guy is an amazing craftsman. He takes 8 days to make each knife. So there's about 3 days for the steel processing, and then 5 days to assemble the knife and finish it off. And then the more complicated it gets, like this one here with the mammoth tooth and all of that, they just become more and more expensive. And the more little details that are included, the more time is spent. So at least 8 days for each one of these knives to be produced. So do keep that in mind when you look at the prices, and understand that each one of these is handmade, and each one has a guarantee. So each of these knives has an amazing warranty. Manufacturer defects on all of them are covered for lifetime. So what does that mean? That means that if any of them break under normal use, we will replace them. Alex is the one that works on them for us, and he will take them back. He will fix everything. He'll fix the handle. If the handle falls apart, this one is not full tang. If it comes off with normal use, meaning batoning, cutting, using it in all normal knife intended uses. Of course, if you're going to be bashing it, into rocks and trying to break it on purpose, that will not be covered. I mean, we're going to use common sense here and just hope that people respect that. But if something comes apart, something is not fitting right, something starts to, peel, there's gaps that develop somewhere in the metal or between the metal and the wood, or something starts to just twist or, get odd, all of that will be replaced. And there will be no expense to you. And, shipping and all of that will be covered. So this is a very amazing warranty. Of course, if you're going to be grinding the blade down, using the blade, sharpening it and all of that, that's something that eventually will wear the blade down, and that's not something that's covered under warranty, and I think we understand that. That's just normal use. But otherwise, if anything falls apart or breaks with the knives, they will be completely replaced or fixed. You'll just have to send them in. And when you order them, you can expect to see it in 30 days from when you order. Hopefully we can do it a little bit sooner, but at this point we just can't guarantee any quicker. And then if people start ordering some of these knives, we might start to have them on hand, depending on how popular they are. Please email reviewoutdoorgear@gmail.com with questions about any of these specific knives. We do have one of each. Well, we're going to have this one, and this one on hand. We will not have this one on hand if you order this one, but that's as of like this moment. Please email if you have questions. Check out the prices, and let me know what you guys want to know. Please, you guys, leave your questions down in the comments section. Check the description for any updates in there as well. Check the links out. And I really look forward to having people enjoy these knives here in the future. Don't forget to praise God. I'll see you guys in the next video. This has been Eugene from Review Outdoor Gear.